Alright folks, welcome back to this tutorial for React Native. We're developing an application for Android using the Linux operating system, specifically the Ubuntu distribution. In this lesson we are installing the Android Studio IDE and SDK. Alright, so go ahead and open up a Google Chrome browser and search for Android Studio. Okay, it should be your first response here. The top one, go ahead and select download Android Studio and make sure it's telling you for the correct operating system. Select download, accept the terms and conditions, and it'll start to download a zip file for you. I've already downloaded this. It's in my downloads folder, so I'll go ahead and download and cancel that download. Now before you do anything, scroll down to this new page that you're directed to. It's telling us if we're running a 64-bit version of Ubuntu, we need to install some 32-bit libraries. That's as simple as copying this entire string of text here, copying it and pasting it in a terminal. It'll ask for your password and it'll install. Now it's telling me here I already have the newest version because I went ahead and installed this before I started recording the lesson. So go ahead and close that, and we'll go ahead and find our Android Studio zip file. So navigate to your downloads folder, and we have it right here. So open up a new file browser, and we're going to navigate to the opt folder. Now, the opt folder is outside of our home directory. So we get there by navigating to the computer, the top level directory, and navigating to opt. There it is. And let's see what happens when we try to drag that over. It doesn't work. Alright, now the reason being, when we're outside of our home directory, typically we need super user privileges to do anything. There's a few ways to do that. The most user-friendly way to do that for someone who's new to Linux or not comfortable using the command line of the terminal, right-click anywhere in the in this directory here in the file browser and select Open in Terminal. This new terminal that opens up, you'll notice the directory path is the same as the one we just were in. So enter the following command: sudo Nautilus. Now Nautilus is the name of the file browser we're using, and a period. So we're telling the computer as a super user, do the following with Nautilus. Open the current directory. It'll ask for your password, and we have a new directory or file browser that opens up. So we can close the old file browser, but make sure you leave the terminal open because that's actually running this file browser. So now we can actually drag that zip file over, and we can close the downloads folder. I'll go ahead and extract that zip file there, and once that's done extracting, we can go ahead and delete that zip file. We have our Android Studio folder. There it is. Go ahead and move that to trash. Navigate into the Android Studio folder, navigate into the bin folder, and this file here is the one we want to run, studio.sh. And once again, there's a few ways to do that. I'll show you the most user-friendly way to do that. Although if you're able to do it through just the terminal, it's a lot simpler, but I'll show you a simple way to do it. Right-click somewhere in the file browser and select Open Terminal, Open in Terminal. You'll notice once again this directory path matches the path in the Nautilus file browser. Alright. Now to run that studio.sh shell script, we simply press period, / and the name of the shell script, and press enter. asking us, it's telling us there's no Android SDK found because we haven't installed one. You might be greeted with something else asking you if you want to import prior settings. In case you get that, just select the second option, which is no, you don't have a prior installation. It's giving me this option because I've tried to install prior to recording. That's why it's telling me I have no SDK. So just if you get this or the other one, just once again just follow through and press next or continue, and then you'll want to, in this next screen, make sure that you modify the Android SDK location. Reason being, this root location is not going to allow access to modify or to use it. So select this button on the right here. It'll bring up a directory tree, and we want to navigate to our home directory. Alright, and there's no Android folder there, so we need to make a new Android folder. And this button right here should be it. Capital A for Android. And in there, we make a new folder called SDK. Okay. Now we're just following the same structure that it's using there. Okay, make sure you highlight that, and there we have it. Our home directory, the name of our machine, Android/SDK. Select next, and select finish. Now it's going to take a few minutes depending on your network speed and your computer speed. Let's go ahead and let that unzip, download, and install. I'd say it takes an average of 5 minutes. Alright, and then when that's done installing, you'll be greeted with a screen like so. Select finish. Alright, and now we're greeted with the welcome to Android Studio screen. Select the configure button and click create desktop entry. I want you to check that checkbox there and select OK. What that's doing is just making sure we have a way to get back into the Android Studio IDE without having to run through the directories and run the shell script. It's kind of like a shortcut. Alright, now go ahead and click the configure button again and select your Sdk Manager. Okay, now Android Studio has installed Android 7.1.1. We need Android 6.0 Marshmallow for React Native. Now select that, but you also need to select down on the bottom right where it says show package details. Scroll down, and we need a few other things, not just the base SDK. So we need some system images. Go ahead and install the Intel x86 Atom system image and the Google API's Atom system image as well. I don't think anything else we're going to need. No, we should be fine with just that. I'm going to select the Google APIs in case. I don't think I need it, but it's not going to hurt to have it. Go ahead and select OK. And accept the terms and conditions. So allow that to install. It should take about 2 to 3 minutes. Alright, so we are done installing those components. Go ahead and click finish. Alright, go ahead and click once again your Sdk Manager and verify that we have the SDK installed where we want it. Home, the name of your system, /Android/SDK. Open up a file browser and navigate there to your home directory, Android SDK, and here we have all those tools. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is be able to create an AVD, Android Virtual Device, and we'll do that in the next lesson.